Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Friday. This is unofficially an Aloha Perspective. It's actually just Oracle time. I felt like doing an Oracle last night, and I thought, hey, you know what? It's been a while, so let's do it. But this isn't the show. This isn't going to be any, oh, let's go into this, that, and the other. Sorry, I'm not used to parting my hair on this side anymore. Anyway, so yeah, let's just get rolling. Again, this is a very unofficial Aloha Perspective. Usually when I would do like an Aloha Perspective Oracle, I would give like insight and stuff, but we're just going to have fun with this. So you know what? No vulnerability, no stuff today, just, I don't know, questions and answers or answers to questions, whatever it is. Good morning, Hybrid Muddy. So I do have some rules. You're like, rules for oracles? Are you crazy? No, I am not. Although that's debatable. Do not try to make something fit for, I had to write it down because, if I don't, then yeah. Do not try to make something fit for you if it does not resonate. Doing that can cause stress, frustration, or anxiety. I only read from a good place. So this is a safe space for everyone, and when I say I only read from a good place, my guides, I tap into my guides, I ask them for guidance. I ask them, hey, if anybody has something they need to know out there or whoever needs to see this, then I hope you find it because yeah. So anyways, I don't have a lot of my Oracle decks here because as you can see, I'm still not home, but I do have the magical messages from the fairies, the Moonology deck, and I believe a full moon is in the works. So, yeah, I believe a full moon is in the works. I have the magical mermaids and dolphins, and I have the dragon oracle, for the love of dragons. All right, let's see. I usually try to pull 5 from the one I don't have the book. Oh, and one of my other things is I always read the book because I'll give you what I think and I'll read the book because somebody took the time to put that stuff together. So, boy, the mermaids are stingy today. Come on, mermaids. What do you want us to hear? There we go. Oh, that's an interesting one. All right, come on. I just need 2 more. Wow. Okay, there's 1 more. And there we go. 2 more. And just wing it on those. All right, let's always try to pull 5 from the one that I don't use the book on. So, all right. Number 1. Music for manifesting. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. So I think what this is trying to say is that, just so you can see the other side, these are really pretty cards. But yeah, so when it says music for manifesting, to manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. Now, if you want to chant or hum, that is probably part of your meditative practices and something that, you do on your own when you are manifesting. But singing or playing music, in my personal opinion, in my perspective, I believe it's trying to move you out of your head and move you into your heart. So the less, as you're trying to put something out there, the less you focus on, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? The less you do that and stop trying to control it, the more you are probably going to see some version of your manifestation. Now you're probably saying, what do you mean by some version? Asking for very specific things may not always pan out well for you. So if you're praying, you're meditating, you're manifesting, whatever it is that you were you're gratituding, whatever it is you were trying to put out there, simply put, this or something better at the end. Always put this or something better at the end. Or you can say this or what's meant for me at the end. Because, you may be saying, I want this, that, and that, but that and that may not be meant for you, but a version of that might be. So just say this or something better. And you might be saying, well, I'm trying to manifest exactly what I want. So how does this work? Well, what you're trying to do is bring in what is meant for you. So, and who knows, you might manifest exactly what it is that you asked for. Sometimes that can work, but when you're asking for very, very specific things, like people or, a job. Your guide may be saying, that job may not be for you. It may look good on paper, but in the long run, you are going to just die a slow death there. So, just trust the process is all I can say. Just trust the process and go with the flow. But also when you're trying to manifest this or something better. Okay. So sorry, my hair is driving me nuts. So I did a number on my bangs last week while I was going through my girly cycle, and I may have or may not have taken some scissors to my bangs and done a bad job. So every so often that's going to happen. So yeah, they're driving me crazy right now, but because they're so short and I have curly hair, so it doesn't, anyways, totally my fault. I got to wait for them to grow out. But I will say this, on the bonus side, when they grow out right to where I want them. So clearly not the first time I've done this. So contemplation time. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. I love it no matter what deck I use. Usually I use the angel answers, but no matter what deck I use, it always starts to create a story. So I'm going to put that one there. Music for manifesting. Contemplation time. So this is what I was talking about. When we're listening to the music, we're removing ourselves from the desire, from the manifestation, from, what it is that we are trying to make happen. Because, like I said, when you hold on to it too tight, when you hold on to something too tight, it is probably not going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be some wonky version of whatever it is because you're trying so hard to control it. Once you gratitude, pray, or manifest, you have got to trust the process and trust that it is going to work out for you. You can't just say, okay, this is what I want, but this is how I want it done. It doesn't work like that. Trust me. Trust me when I say it doesn't work like that. In case you're wondering why you should trust me, because trial and error, lots of trial and error. Tranquility. Make time to relax, be still, and enjoy your solitude, indulging in much needed self-care. There you go. So while you're manifesting, while singing and contemplating, you just using that meditation time, dive into some self-care. Take that bubble bath. Do something. Do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself out of your head of what you're trying to manifest in gratitude. The more, like I said, the more we hang on to it and the more we desire something, just for us, it can go sideways very fast. It can, you don't want anyone to get hurt in the process either. So sometimes doing in the divine right way might really be helpful. But yeah, you don't want anyone to get hurt in the process. So, there's that too. So I'm really sorry about my hair, guys. And I have no hair ties near me. So I know you can see me looking around like, where are they all? No idea. So yeah, I know. I'm thinking maybe, I'm sorry. I know my hair is driving me up the freaking wall right now. So I am doing what I can to make this work. So anyways, let's see if this works for a little while. All right, so I stopped thinking about it. There we go. All right, so tranquility. The next one, self-forgiveness. Let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. Now, if you don't believe in God, that's okay. Universe, whoever, fill in the blank for whoever you turn your faith to. I didn't write these cards, but, I realized that they do specifically point to one group of people instead of everybody. And like I said, this is a safe space for everyone. If you believe in something, you don't believe in anything, don't worry about it. Just fill in the blank, all right? So let go of old guilt and remember that you are the perfect child. How about the perfect child or God's perfect child, whichever you want to turn it to. Okay, but here's the thing too. When you are trying to manifest or pray or divine something to happen, you have to let go of old guilt, because old guilt is going to trip you up. It's going to create obstacles and it's going to make you say, how come this isn't happening? Well, because when you're holding on to things, then it's a feeling of unworthiness. It's a feeling of, lack of self-love, not feeling deserving of something. So you can't just sit there and go, I'm so happy and grateful that I get this. But in the back of your brain or in your spidey senses and all your tingles, they're not tingling. Okay, they got to tingle in order for you to manifest that or something better. So, or that, or that, or what is meant for you, which is probably something better. So, you know, I mean, how many times have we just accidentally manifested something like, whoa, that turned out way better than I thought it would? Exactly. So that's how it works. All right. So self-forgiveness. And, you know, you don't need to forgive. You know, healing doesn't mean you have to forgive anybody and what happened to you or anybody that was horrible to you. Self-forgiveness is basically what it says. It's letting go of old guilt. It's letting go of, you know, you constantly raking yourself over the coals or dragging yourself through the mud or throwing yourself under the proverbial bus. That's what self-forgiveness is. It's saying, you know what? I've done things, I've made mistakes, or things have happened to me that were out of my control. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay, because I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move forward in grace and compassion and self-love. The last one, Father healing. Ooh, it's Triton or Poseidon, whichever one you want to call him. Yes, I'm being goofy today. Your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven, Valhalla, whatever it is, again, the universe, whatever you believe in, okay? So I think that was one of my other rules, that, you know, God might be mentioned, but just move past it, okay? Just fill in the blank for whoever it is that you turn your faith to. So your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. I don't know what they mean by father-related issues. I don't have this problem. So I am very fortunate in this scenario. But if you do, you know, or, well, I do have a father-related problem right now because I'm still here. But, well, we're working on it. We're playing the long game here, but we're working on it. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. But no, I mean, if that's the only complaint I have, then, you know, life is pretty damn good. So I'm not going to complain about that at all because, you know what? It's my dad. My dad helped raise me with my mother. And it's like I told my dad, I said, you know what? If you were an asshole, I wouldn't be here. So, you know, because he's like, I feel really bad and that you're still here. And, you know, I feel bad about this, that, and the other. And, you know, and I'm just like, you know, it's a testament to my upbringing that I'm here. All right. So, and I think any of us would do it for any of our parents if we have a good relationship with them. So putting all these together, give music for manifesting, contemplation time, tranquility, self-forgiveness, and father healing. So if I wanted to put this into my own life, it would basically be me trying to manifest my father having complete healing, and, you know, maybe using music or something to just refocus my mind after I put that manifestation out. Contemplation time, after you put out your manifestation or your prayer, you can meditate on it, or, you know, you can just meditate on something else. Just clear your mind, free your mind, so that this beautiful thought that you're trying to manifest can just go out into the ether and do what it needs to do without you trying to control it or tether it to this earth. Tranquility is basically like contemplation time, but it's a lot of self-care. You know, take care of yourself. You know, if you got a hot tub, go sit in a hot tub. If you got a pool, go swim in the pool. Just go soak, do something, take a walk, be out in nature, whatever it is you want to do. Watch my show, watch all the other episodes. Just kidding. Shameless plug. Self-forgiveness. Like I said, self-forgiveness is about letting go of the guilt. If you've been on a healing journey and you are still like, well, I wish I would have gotten here faster, watch yesterday's show, because this is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what Sammy and Laura, well, older sibling and Hybrid Muddy, you know, encouraged me to talk about, because it doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you heal and you feel like you are freeing yourself, don't worry how long it took. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't do anything about yesterday, 10 minutes ago, whatever. If it's done, it's done. So let it go. Can't hold on to it forever. And if you need some father healing, you know, then there you go. I need my father to heal. So send out the good juju there. All right. Ooh, look at that. I think that one might be for me. Self-employment. You're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. So I don't know who needs to see this, but self-employment. All right. I might keep that one out for myself for a while. Meditate on that for a bit. Yeah. So just as a side note, while I'm pulling out the other cards, yesterday, wow, I mean, I had to go back through all the stories that are trapped on Lola, my flash drive, my other flash drive that kind of crapped out. And all my stories are hidden on there. And so I was just kind of like, what am I going to do? So I started rewriting, and boy, I had some good ideas for one of my stories yesterday that I've been working on for almost 2 decades because I can't seem to get the theme and the feeling right, and it's constantly morphing and changing into something, and it's just like, well, now I think I have a path. So, bad things, I'm not going to say everything happens for a reason. But when it comes to things that don't harm us physically and all that, it's a crappy thing to think that everything happens for a reason. For me, I know there's a lot of people that say, no, not everything should happen. For me, I don't know the kind of person I would be if the bad things didn't happen to me. That doesn't mean I like it. That doesn't mean I would wish it on anybody. But it's everything happens for a reason is a double-edged sword. It really is. It's a double-edged sword. And, for some people it's like, yeah, or would I have been, but we don't know. So the best thing to do is to just keep moving forward and don't worry about it. All right. I mean, if you got to heal it, heal it. But if you are in your thriving mode, stop going back to figure out why, because there's a reason you are in thriving mode. And I think I'm partially, talking to myself on that. Okay. So I was shuffling and 3 just fell out. So there you go. This is the magical messages from the fairies deck. Debt paid off. Ooh, I bet everybody likes that one. I really want this to resonate with me. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. Now, when we see debt paid off, okay, because the first thing I thought is, ooh, look, everything's paid off. I am debt free and I have financial freedom in the divine right way, right? But it's not just that, okay? That's the first thing we all think of, like, oh, yes, oh, right, everything, the wheel of fortune is finally turning in my direction. Oh, that's a good one. Sammy says, I like to say everything can work for the good. I like that. Everything can work for the good, or everything works for the good, so there you go. There you go. Everything can work for the good. And if you need to repeat that, it's in the comments under Sammy Starshine Myers. Sammy. So, sorry. I'm in a mood. I don't know why, but I'm in a mood. Well, actually, I know why, because I'm in thriving mood. Although my hair is starting to fall out in the back. But, so yeah, be ready for when I have to fix it again. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. So again, like I said, the first thing we think of when we see this card is we just automatically think, yay, debt's paid off, financial freedom, blah, blah, blah. But it's not just that. It could be karmic debt. It could be, crushing and breaking those generational cycles, right? Or the karmic cycles, the generational curses. You're just like lifting them, and maybe you're doing the work for your entire family. So, you're kind of taking the bullet, right? I mean, the proverbial bullet. You're taking one for the team and going, oh, all right, fine. It'll be me. I'll do it. And I mean, seriously, you don't say it like that. You do it because it's something you're good at, and it's something that you can do. So you take the burden upon yourself, but you heal it. You figure it out. And you start cutting those cords to everybody in, that is directly affected in these generational cycles, in these, patterns, generational patterns, familial patterns that happen, just you're breaking the cycle, you're cutting the cords. And that could be also what it means by debt paid off. You could be clearing up a karmic debt. So even though up to this moment you might feel, okay, I haven't been completely unlucky, but boy, sometimes things are really, really hard. You might find that it's either becoming a little easier or you're learning how to make it feel easier. So just be open to the changes, be open to the process, and, just stay open to everything that is good. Because again, everything can work for the good. Everything can work for the good. So, there you go. So debt paid off. All right. So let's read the book. Let's read the book. This is fun, guys. I forgot how much I enjoyed doing these. It might be a while before we do another one because I'm still taking Fridays off. But But anyways, the old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. This card signals an impressive shift in your financial situation. Yeah. You've made the clear decision to be free of old debts, and the universe has responded in kind. You're presented with opportunities to reduce your debt, including new avenues of income and inner guidance about reducing non-essential spending. As you follow these leads, your financial situation rapidly improves. So I'm glad I gave you kind of the other thing, because I do feel like a big part of this card was having that karmic debt or those generational, cycles and curses and all that cleared out, because that can lead to this. That can lead to that financial thing, because you're not constantly carrying this baggage of your entire, family tree. Right? You are sitting there and you're going, all right, we're done. All right, let's move on. But also when it talks about this, we talked about this in the beginning with the first deck. Don't focus so hard on it. If you're struggling right now, I get it. But, there's still, be grateful for what you do have. Be grateful for, even if it's very little. Because the more gratitude you show, the more the universe or your higher power will respond in kind and say, okay, this person gets it, and they're moving and they're healing, and they're doing the moving and the shaking and the healing. And so we're going to reward them. But you have to, when you have the feeling of gratitude, you are removing the negative energy. Because I will tell you this, the one thing about the universe that people don't understand, the universal law, right, is this. The law of manifestation is whatever you are feeling at your peak is what you are going to manifest. So if you're saying, I'm so happy and grateful that I have this much money, but you're like you have that feeling going, or that thought behind it going, yeah, but it probably won't happen for me because I'm not that lucky, then congratulations, it will not. Because you just manifested it away. So when you're gratituding, or when you're showing gratitude for everything you have, then, it changes your vibe. It changes your energy. And there are people that will sit there and say, well, I don't believe in that. Well, guess what? It believes in you, and it doesn't care, because it is the law of attraction. And, I know that people will be like, oh, that's like the secret stuff, or that's like this, or that's like that. Think about the things when you've had a really good day and how great everything has gone, right? And I mean, better than normal. Like, you wake up and you're like, yeah, baby, this is going to be the day. And everything basically feels like it just falls into place for you. Maybe you're at work and someone brings you a donut for no reason, or brings you a coffee for no reason, or brings you something for no reason, or people are extra helpful, or maybe you have a lot of work to do and magically people just stay away. And you're like, wow, yeah, this is great. This was a really good day. Better than my normal days. But it could also go with, this is going to be the shittiest day of my life. And guess what? Everybody's bothering you. Nobody, they bring everybody something but you. Maybe you're craving that coffee and they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't think you wanted one today. You're putting that out there because that's the energy. It's how you look at things. So just keep your vibe going. Keep your vibe going high and do that gratitude. Like I said, even if you only have like $10 in your bank account, okay? Be grateful for it. I'm so happy and grateful for the $10 I have in there, and maybe and possibly it will grow. Okay. So just have faith. I know it's hard. Okay. I know how hard it can be, but just hang in there. All right. And try to put out the good vibes, the good juju. So, additional meanings for this card. Make a clear-cut decision to be debt-free, and the universe will deliver. Cut up your credit cards. Okay, seriously, who's going to do that? Question each expenditure to see if it's really necessary or just an impulsive purchase. You know what? I'm not sure I really agree with these. I mean, they're right and they're correct, but at the same time, sometimes those impulse purchases, sometimes people just need that. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I mean, I'm not saying blow $5,000 on something when you have $10 in your bank account. I'm saying, hey, if you go to the Dollar Tree and you find something cute like this, just do it. I know, right? It's the Halloween decorations. Or is it? Yeah, this is just telling you, this is just it's like a book of how to. All right, so we're going to move on. All right, just keep your vibe going high. Do some research. Do some research. You need more information about the situation. Look at, you know what? I'm sorry. These don't, that first one felt like it was something, but this doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel like, these cards just fell out. I feel like there's something different that's supposed to be the middle card. Actually, the next two cards. The other one's express your individuality. So, you know, I like that one. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite cards. Allow your true self to shine because you are awesome. Okay. And to do some research. If you are looking, these feel like they're one-offs for somebody. I'm being honest. They feel like they're one-offs for somebody. So if you're looking into something, or you're looking into investing or whatever it is, you need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. All right. So that's how you cover your bases. And for those of you who have been hiding yourselves in the corner, or you're afraid to come out and thrive, express your individuality. You know, I mean, the last, week, I've been kind of like just lowballing it with the makeup. But today I was laying in bed and I'm like, no, I want the dark lipstick and the big blue eye, you know, like the big eyeliner, blue eyeliner. I was going to go with black, and I thought, nah, let's do color today. So, you know, not like you can really see it through my glasses, but I was like, nah, let's do color today. Got like purplish, purple, pink, and dark purple eyeshadow, which you can't see because I did that very light. But I mean, it's expressing our individuality. And guess what? Guess who's wearing black from head to toe? Damn straight. Oh, the outfit I wanted to wear actually is in the laundry, so that did not happen. All right, here's the card. Nope. Oh, come on. I know there. Nope. I know it sounds silly, but nope. Nope. So love life, winter, spring, sun. These are coming out, but I don't feel like connect with nature. I don't feel like these are them. Maybe the first card was just the card, but, you know, springtime, your what you call it will, you know, your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. But all of you are like, dude, it's almost fall. Winter, same thing. Answers to your prayers and affirmations will proceed in the winter. Your love life, the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. You know, after yesterday's show went rogue, let's hope. But I feel like there's something else in here. So, okay, hold on. Just give me a second. All right. I don't know what that is, but I just heard in my head, pick the fifth card down. All right. And I didn't know which side of the deck, so I did both sides. All right. This one. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I know two of the who are, I don't know who the third person is, but that's on. I apologize, but I know two of the three, including myself. This is not a possibility. But pregnancy. Okay. Oh, actually, I just had someone float through my mind. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world, but I think that's a one-off as well. And, oh, here you go. Your desire is within reach. So I think, did that feel like it was the one? Yes, it did. All right, it did. All right, that was the one. That was the one. And ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. What is that one Rolling Stone song? We talked about it last week. You don't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you get what you need. I can't remember the lyrics. Sammy will know. Sammy and older sibling are like they're my musical library. Together, these girls could sit, you know, they could just go to trade shows and just, you know, hey, you know, pay me $5 and I'll tell you what that song is that you're humming, you know. They're better than Google and AI. So anyways, your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. So there you go. I'm not even going to read the book on that, because I think this is just meant to, oh yeah, you can't always get what you want. Oh, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Is that it? I feel like I'm singing it in my head. and I'm not going to sing it out loud. But yeah, I think this is just to let you know that, you know, your manifestations are coming to fruition. So you know what? Don't quit on yourselves. Don't give up. Just trust. All right. Trust and believe, because as hard as that can be, that's maybe the lesson for you. The lesson might be for you to learn how to trust that process and to let go of trying to control everything to make it happen. Shelley Marie. Shelley Marie is bad at that. So anyways, all right, let's do the Moonology deck. We have a full moon coming up, I think, next week. I don't know where my calendar is. There it is. I have it written down here. When is the full moon? It is... Oh yeah, Saturday the 9th. So depending on where you're at. In California, it'll be Saturday the 9th. But yeah, so ta-da. I can't remember what the full moon is in. I don't remember what sign, but let's just... Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah, baby. That was pretty awesome. That one just, you saw that. It just kind of fell out. All right, one more shuffle, and if nothing comes out, we'll move on. Nope, that's it. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Because the card that fell out, full moon. See? Manifested. Surrender. Surrender to the divine. I love when shit like this happens. Seriously, surrender to the divine. Holy moly. Oh, thank you. Older sibling and hybrid muddy. They are verifying that my my limited access to lyrics in my head and music was on point. So yay. But yeah, surrender to the divine. This is exactly what I've been saying throughout this whole reading when it comes to, okay, so apparently this is like Sesame Street, okay? Apparently our theme today is manifestations and putting things out there and divining things and, you know, praying, okay? Because praying basically is manifesting. Praying is manifesting, okay? But, you know, if you believe it, you know, in prayer, then that's your thing. If you believe in manifesting, that's your thing. If you believe in divining, then that's kind of a different thing. But, you know, but your desires, right? When you desire something. But desiring something can go a little sideways because it always depends on what it is you're desiring. Because a lot of times desiring something is, in my personal opinion and perspective, being very hyper-focused on one thing. You know, and you want to really kind of put this out there, you know, for it to manifest in the way it's supposed to manifest to you. Yes, exactly. I was going to say that. Muddy beat me to it. Brought to you by the letter M. And what's today? The number 1, since it is August 1st. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. So there you go. So yeah, surrender to the divine. If you want that prayer or that manifestation to happen, you have got to learn to surrender to the divine. You have to learn to trust the process. You have to surrender to the process. You cannot sit there and try to control it and say, well, why isn't it happening this way? It needs to happen this way. It needs to happen by this time at that moment. I can tell you from my own experience, it does not work that way. However, I have manifested things. You know, I'm going to give you a little example. So the first time I read The Secret, it was a book that older sibling gave me. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody's thing. I'm not saying that's the book you have to read. But it gave me, the reason I'm referencing it, it gave me an exercise. It says, you know, try to manifest something, but be very specific about it, right? Be very specific. And so I said, okay, I want to manifest, because I tried to manifest something that I absolutely did not think would happen. I tried to manifest a $20 bill folded in half and then folded into a triangle twice. So like folding, triangle, and then triangle again. Okay. And I thought, yeah, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. So that same day, I was supposed to have lunch with the big boss. He was in the early stages of dementia, and so I was kind of like I kind of just kept an eye on him, you know, and he knew, I knew, but you know, he was very grateful, and I didn't treat him any differently than I did before. I still gave him a hard time, gave him shit like he always gave me shit, and And this was somebody that a lot of people in the office were afraid of. But we were supposed to have lunch that day, but then the guys were like, hey, Fred, want to go have lunch, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he comes over to my desk and he's all, hey, kid, I'm really sorry. I can't go to lunch today. The guys want to take me out, blah, blah, blah. Because at this point, his trips were becoming less frequent. So instead of coming every week, he was going to start coming every other week. So while he's telling me all this, he is literally taking out a $20 bill, folding it in half, and then he folded it twice into a smaller triangle. And the whole time he's sitting there, but I want you to take this money and, you know, and I want you to go get yourself something to eat since we were supposed to go out. I'm like, I don't want your money. He's like, no. And when I said I don't want your money, that we'll just do it another day or whatever, or, you know, that's okay. Cause you sit right across from me in your office and we talk all day long. And he's like, I don't care. And that's when he started folding it. And I was just like, when he handed it to me, he handed it to me as a triangle. And he's on, don't you try to put it back on my desk or I will fire you. And he had that power. But I sat there and he's all, are you okay? And I'm all like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I said, I'm just a little bummed, you know, and he's like, I know. He's all, I am too. It would have been a nice lunch. I'm like, yeah, but I said, that's okay. You know, like, I'll see you when you get back. What I didn't tell him was, holy shit, I manifested this morning. And it happened right in front of my face. So it was kind of like, I mean, literally, it happened in real time in front of my face. And my eyes just kept getting bigger and bigger, like, you got to be kidding me. You know? And of course, the next thought you think is, maybe I should have made it a 50. Just kidding. So, no, seriously, I'm just kidding. But no, it was a $20 bill. And I was just like, you know, I did try to give it back to him. But then, you know, he got sassy with me. So I took it. But you see my point. When we put it out there and we let it go, you know, I mean, I did have my doubts on it, but it said, don't have your doubts on it. So I put it out there and I thought, well, maybe this will take a day or two, because my whole point was, you know, I wanted to find a 20 that was in a triangle shape. And I had worked it out in my head how it would happen, you know, like I would find the triangle and how I would open it and how it would, you know, open. And, you know, when you spread it out, but like I said, it was wild because it literally manifested right in front of my eyes. And it was just kind of like, wow, you know. So anyways, surrender to the divine. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is sorry, my brain, it went somewhere else. But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. My brain went really rogue just now, like super rogue. Okay. Whew. Let me try this again. Anyway, the very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface no matter when in the moon cycle you pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor. Haha, may the odds be ever in your favor. If you know, you know, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. So before I get to the rest of this, I also want to point out for those of you who do follow moon cycles, we are in what is called a waxing moon. So if, you know, which means it's the new moon to the full moon and all the little cycles that happen in between. This is a time for manifestation. This is a time for putting your desires out there, for praying, you know, for what you want. And remember, this or something better. When we hit the full moon cycle, that doesn't mean you can't manifest. But what the full moon cycle is really, really good for, going into the new moon cycle, which is the waning moon. What the waning moon is good for is releasing stuff, getting rid of stuff. Whether it's something physically getting rid of something or figuratively getting rid of something. Like, you know what it talks about here, like your emotions. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. Is there something you need to let go of? But also when they're saying that you have to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold, just be grateful. You know, if you're not sure what else to say, just show gratitude. If a bad thought comes into your head, just say, I cancel that. Yes, I write down some things because sometimes my brain just needs a little help. And by that I mean, because, you know, when my brain goes rogue and I go negative, it's good for me to have written reminders, excuse me, to remind me that, you know, everything is going to be okay. And, you know, when fear, anger, and doubt come up, I cancel that thought. I cancel that thought. But when you're manifesting, you know, like I am simply deciding that this is mine, or something better, that this or something better is meant for me. And so when you let go of that control, which is what this is talking about, this is what it means by working harder. You have to trust the process. Okay, it's not saying you have to go out there and, you know, run backwards, you know, a mile, or run in, you know, counterclockwise 13 times. Okay, I mean, you can if you want, that's up to you. But if it helps your mindset, that's great. But if you're thinking you have, like, I have to do this because, no, it's not going to work, because you're forcing something. Just gratitude. You know, if you start to see it manifesting slowly or even quickly, just be like, I'm so happy and grateful that this is working out in my favor. You know, so there's that. So attune to the moon. I am getting the answers I need. I am getting the answers I need. Additional meanings for this card. A wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. Breathe deep and stay calm. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. That's up to you. You can forgive the situation. You don't necessarily have to forgive somebody, because that's not for me to say what you should do. But to really kind of open up this particular comment, you may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. It's telling you that, you know, for most people, well, if I forgive them, I'll let it go. But a lot of people are like, I don't want to forgive that. It hurt me. It did this. Let the feeling go. Okay, I know it's hard, especially if you're on a healing journey, but let the feeling go, because it is not serving you. It is not doing anything for your life. It is just anchoring you in the sea of misery. And you do, remember the sea of misery, guys? And the ocean of bliss? And the island of isolation? Yeah, you don't want to be anchored in the sea of misery anymore. You want your boat to set sail, go through that wall of waves, which is basically your healing journey, and end up in the ocean of bliss. You know, I mean, is it blissful every day? No, there's still storms in the ocean of bliss, but you are a master shipman now. And when you're in the ocean of bliss, you know how to handle these things better. Even if you spiral, even if your brain goes rogue or whatever, you know how to bring yourself back. You know what is best for you. And you're not sitting there just wallowing, because wallowing can really hurt us. You know, I can't tell you how many pity parties I have. Even now, in thriving mode, I still kind of like, you know, I go through the motions and I do my best to keep myself from spiraling, but it doesn't always work. So that's when I know, when I do spiral, that I have to figure out how to pull myself out of it. So that's what we need to do. Just, you know, if you can't forgive the person, or you don't want to forgive the person, let go of the anger if you can. You don't owe them anything. Okay, you do not owe them anything, but you owe yourself everything. You deserve peace. You deserve a good life, and you deserve to manifest whatever it is that is meant for you, you know, to enjoy. So you are allowed to do that. Okay. The next one, it's time to let go of the seriously, I did not see this. It is time to let go of the past and move on. There you go. It is time to let go of the past and move on. So let go of the past and move on. Yeah, it is time. It is time. It's my Darth Vader voice. So yeah, it's time to let go of the past and move on. And that would be in your benefit, to your benefit, and in your favor. The next one, the teaching. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon. And pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. So there you go. Hang in there, guys. All right, just hang in there. It's happening. It may not be happening in your time. Maybe you still have something you need to learn. But as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you keep trusting the process, eventually it will happen. So just trust it, okay? Just believe. Have faith. Have faith. All right, we got the last deck. For the Love of Dragons. I love this deck. I actually bought this here in San Diego from my favorite metaphysical store I like to go to, that when, you know, to resupply. I'll leave it at that. But that one, okay, that one wanted to come out. Was it that one? It was that one. That one wanted to come out. I shuffled too fast. Oh, older sibling, deep breath. I know, she knows. She knows. They're just kind of like, ooh. Do you think this one's trying to come out? All right, that was it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's mix them up a little. All right. Number 1, the healer. Ooh, the healer. Okay, so to all my fellow healers out there, if people poo-poo you, don't listen to them, all right? I have been told by several people, 3 people really, independently, that I have healing hands. And I'm very grateful for that. It's one of the reasons I did take up Reiki, because it helps me focus my energy. I have been known, and you can take this any way you want, but in the early days when PDAs used to exist, I blew out 2. And a 3rd one, which was not mine. Sorry, sibling. When my energy would get either super wild or really, especially when I was really angry, my energy would just get like so, I mean, even now, there's a reason on my phone that I have very specific, like almost like rubber type cases, because, you know, it's like standing in water when lightning hits, right? But, because I have been known to shut down my phone or freeze it when when my energy gets wild and crazy, or if I'm in a bad place. So you can take that as you want. But the reason I'm sharing that is because this is oracle time. And I want all the people who are out there who are healers, who know they're healers, to just keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to other people. You don't need to advertise it. You don't need to put it out there. I've been trying to heal my dad, and I've asked my dad for permission to do it. And he's like, well, it ain't working. It's working, but I can't fix what's in here. And even he said the other day, well, I think, I just, this, that, and we had a really good conversation the other day. Let me put it that way. So that's why I said I'm playing the long game. But, and it's hard because it does affect the home life. But if you were a healer, trust yourself and believe, because there will be people who, think that this kind of healing just magically is going to make them 5,000% better. No, it's you're working on the situation and what is going to help them the best. But also, if you have healing hands, so I have been able to help a lot of people. The first time we figured it out, I just magically, I'll say magically, did it on Sibling. Sibling was having a bad ulcer flare up. And without even thinking, I just laid my hands on her, and all of a sudden she felt better. But the problem was I got sick. And so, which magically ice cream worked on. I know, I don't know what it is. Whenever I heal people, I gotta have ice cream. Or I gotta eat. I don't know why. It's just like it depletes me. But just be careful, okay? Don't take in other people's things. You have healing energy in your hands. Give it to them, okay? Give it. If you have a higher power you tap into, if you know how to do Reiki, then use that. If you know other touch healing things, then use that. But remember, don't give them all your energy, because you don't want to deplete yourself. All right, you do not want to deplete yourself, but you do want to help them, so you can channel the energy from somewhere else and help it flow with yours. All right, so that's my take on the healing thing, but it can be a lot of other things too. You may be a person that is able to listen and heal. I also work with the Ho'oponopono, which is it's a verbal healing. It's a verbal healing, and it's kind of like cleansing the soul and bringing it back to a blank board. Like just kind of giving it a good scrub. you know. So there's all different forms of healing. And if you believe that you are one of these people, or you just want to learn it, then absolutely, because I believe we are all born with this energy. I think, you know, for some of us, our energy is a little bit more magnified. I don't know why. I'm one of those people that, to be honest with you, I've always run very warm, which is why I'm not also a big fan of summer, because I do tend to run warm, you know, just naturally. Not menopausal, not perimenopause, not PMSing. I just tend to run warm. I've always been very warm-blooded. So, you know, and I've been told that is a sign of being a healer as well. So, and if you don't feel that, that's okay. That's just, I think everybody's different. But I do think everybody is born with these gifts. We just have to believe it. We have to not let people condition us to believe that that is not a thing. If you believe in God, these are your God-given gifts. If you don't believe in God, these are the gifts from whoever you put your faith in. But, you know, to me, it is a gift. It's a very spiritual, soulful gift that I think we should all be grateful to have. So the healer, dragons can be helpers. And if you carry dragon's blood in your vein, it's likely you want to leave this planet better than you found it. Yes. Just remember the one rule of all fierce beings: employ before contributing healing services. Offer help to those who are helping themselves. This way you are able to maintain your vitality without leeching it out in the name of dependency. I feel like this is really talking to me. Another healing principle dragons know: you can only meet someone as deeply as they're willing to meet themselves. There you go. So whether you fly high or dive deep, you must understand who and what you're dealing with. Now is the time to employ discernment and offer a healing hand in hand, paw in claw. So there you go. The next one, the key holder. Ooh, the key holder. I like that one. Oh, I didn't show you the other card, did I? It's so pretty. I love these cards. I love dragons. I really do. I have loved dragons for probably since I saw Pete's Dragon when I was a kid. I know. A lot of times they try to make dragons naughty and mean, like Rain of Fire. I know, but anyway, you know, they're just trying to survive. But yeah, anyways. So the key holder. Ooh, I'm curious about that one. I haven't seen that card yet. I don't think. We've all heard that gratitude is the key. There you go. There you go. But few of us realize how many doors it can open. When times are tight and pressures are high, circumstances can seem locked up. When times are good and tensions are low, our opportunities can seem so wide open that we don't know which way to go, which options to choose. No matter which situation you're facing, gratitude creates a key to unlock the blocked paths and a clarity that helps us choose the right door. Let go of your fear and resistance. Open up and let gratitude in. So there you go. What did I say? Gratitude. Gratitude, everything. I'm so happy. Here's how you can say it. I'm so happy and grateful that fill in the blank. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If somebody gives you something, thank you. Or thank you, thank you. I tend to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, but that's how I learned it. I mean, as an adult, the gratituding part. But yeah, I'm so happy and grateful for, I'm so happy and grateful that, thank you, thank you, thank you, and then let it go. Think of it as like a balloon, right? Let it go. Now, here's my public service announcement. Do not let balloons go into the sky. Okay? Do not. Do not let those Mylar balloons go either. These things can fall in the ocean. They can choke animals. The Mylar balloons can actually cause power outages if they hit a power line because, you know, they're not just latex. Do not let balloons go. That drives me nuts. So I didn't know this, and I used to let balloons go, but then I became knowledgeable about it. And I know a lot of people want to, but until somebody starts making biodegradable organic balloons, please don't. Just, you know, pop it and then pretend you let it go. All right. Blow bubbles. There you go. Blow bubbles. You know, instead of letting balloons go, hold the balloons and blow bubbles and pretend it's the balloon. So there you go. Open up and let gratitude in. And last but not least, I've never seen this one either. The grouch. So, you know, I do bless my cards and I do go through them. But what I'm saying is I've never seen these in a reading, and I've used these a few times for readings. So the Grouch, number, this resembles me in the morning, like, seriously. Number 5. I love laughing. I love laughing. It makes me giggle. So anyways, the Grouch. Dragons have fierce teeth for a reason. Use them to guard your boundaries and protect your space. Snarl, growl. You're allowed to be feisty and fierce when protecting your boundaries and personal sovereignty. There's a time and space for compromise and cooperation. Now is not that time. Huff, puff, flex those scales. No one messes with you today. You get to decide when and how you wish to engage. So there you go. Someone's up in your grill. Just say, sorry, I am fierce today and you are not a part of my fierceness. So, you know, I mean, be a little, if you're at work, use the right attitude. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't say that girl on Facebook said no. All right. Don't get yourself in trouble. But no, you are allowed to discern what you will and will not put up with. All right. So those are called boundaries. So there you go. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Older sibling, Hybrid Muddy, thanks for popping on. I don't know who that third person was. They never said anything. So whoever you were, thank you for popping on. Whoever sees this later, thanks for popping on. I'm only going to post this one to YouTube instead of all over the place. But I do hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. And yeah, I'll see you Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. Anybody can watch the regular Aloha perspective. This was not an Aloha perspective, even though I said it at the beginning, force of habit. This was just an Aloha Oracle Friday. Peace and love to you too, girl. Or peace and love to you too. Yeah, so usually I splash it across the social media outlets. So again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. And again, older sibling, Hybrid Muddy, thanks for popping on. I appreciate it. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful day and a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching.